Well, hello and good day to everybody. God, these glasses look really crazy. Oh, anyway, I am gonna start doing more videos. I found a source for another tank off of Timu. I'm gonna try to buy that and build that. But in the meantime, I have a Kobe MiG 29 in East German markings and a T72 in East German markings with a German soldier with an AK 47. I was gonna say 74, different gun. I am going to build these as quickly as I can. I have something that I have to do today and early tomorrow, but then I will build these and post videos. The reason I'm going to do these because this is a type of equipment that you will see in Ukraine or in Russia right now, with all the war stuff going down. And I don't know, I just think it's kind of cool to have this stuff so everybody can see it and kind of like get into the fray of it and stuff. So I will build both of these. I'm going to start with the T72 tank. That'll be first. Then the MiG 29. And then I am going to get another tank, but I'm not going to just wait to build these to do videos. I'm going to start doing more content based upon the aircraft and tanks. I'm going to do another World War II one. This one's going to be kind of different. It's I'm going to do a P-38 in 1/18 scale, and it's kind of big, but the detail is really good, and hopefully you'll be able to enjoy that and see that. But these are both up and coming, and they will be done very quickly, and I will do a video. The only other thing that I wanted to say, I found it here, was kind of freaked out. I live in Illinois, and a lot of weird things happen here. Things that make it hard to buy and sell and do things and stuff. Well, we had another doozy come up. It was Illinois Senate Bill 3566. And they wanted to put this monitor in everybody's vehicles so they could monitor mileage. I mean, really? We have like the highest gas taxes next to California. What do you need to monitor? I mean, it's all a matter of being more, I don't know, equitable and intelligent in your spending. So what's going to happen is this bill is going to be passed on to electric cars. Because electric cars don't pay any gas taxes and fees. Well, a normal fee in Illinois for car registration is $151. So they're going to add this $320 fee, and it'll make it $471 per electric car. For those of you that watch my videos in Illinois that bought an electric car and think you're going to save money, guess again. Nobody saves anything in this state unless we kind of shake up and get different people to run the state. The sad thing is, the guy that's pushing this bill, I'm not going to mention his name, I'm not here to politically witch hunter stuff, tried this with all vehicles, and they had like a referendum thing, and people like ready to come with their pitchforks and say, you know what? You know, somebody from Chicago, of course, they have the most money and they want everybody else to be taxed so they don't have to spend as much of their own money, which is fine. Everybody likes that, but this is ridiculous here. I mean, like for myself, getting these models to do these videos, I mean, costs money, and if it wasn't so expensive, I could probably buy a lot more and do a lot more videos. That being said or done, I mean, it's just my opinion, and I do post stuff, X from the Center Square. They give you ideas of what's happening as far as politics, and their website is actually very good, but I just do it for information so people see. And I mean, the whole thing is everybody just wants to make money and be happy and do whatever. They don't want it so expensive that the tax structure and everything else is so bad that the money they make is nothing. And at the end of a pay period, I mean, you got a couple dollars in your bank account, and you're not making a poor amount of money. You're making decent money, but it's just because everything's so expensive, and it's just ridiculous. And that's why I drive an older car and stuff. But getting off the political thing, I just have to say that. Like I said, I don't push opinions. I just tell you what I see and give it up to you, like I do with my postings from the Center Square. It's there for you to look at, choose the information the way you want. Back on the main subject, I'm going to do more of these modern tank videos and stuff, especially with what's going on in Iran. Because if we were to go in Iran and fight, good chances you'll see these tanks, the T-72, and whatever form the Iranians had, up against our guys in the M1 Abrams. I am going to do a comparison video between the T72 and the Abrams. I'm going to build the T72 so it's done by this Sunday. And what I'm going to do is I'll do a T72 history and technical spec video like I do with most of my videos. I'll probably bore you and stuff, but hey, what the heck? It's what I do. And I'm going to do one comparing the T72 versus the Abrams. And this is actually a legitimate video to do because the Ukrainians have an older version of the Abrams, and they said, it wasn't doing good. Nah, actually, it didn't do that bad against the T-72 tanks. And the T-72 is not a bad tank. The problem is the way they utilize it, and the Ukrainians did a really good job with the drones trying to knock them out, so that comes into play. But now they're like out of armor. When the Ukrainians get more of these and more Challenger tanks, and they are starting to get land back and push them back, there's some pretty interesting armored combat. I mean, not like the stuff in the scale of a World War II or a Korean War, or even Desert Storm or the Israeli-Arab conflicts where armor came into play. But basically the people behind all the vehicles, I mean, they have a knowledge of them. The Ukrainians did. They modified their T-72s, and the Russians made a modified version of this called the T-90. I was going to get a model of one, but I have this, so I'm just going to build this, and we'll explain everything based upon this, because this is basically was their most numerous tank and most usable tank. If you want to know more about this tank, there is a site called the Chieftain's Hatch. He was a guy that was in the U.S. Army, Scottish descent, but he's fun to watch because he has been in an Abrams, driven in Abrams, and he's fairly tall, and he tried to fit into a T-72 tank, and wow, very cramped inside. But if you get a chance, check that out. It's called the Chieftain's Hatch, and you can see this tank. I mean, what it's like to actually be in one and stuff, and watch somebody almost kill themselves trying to fit into it. But back to my stuff. That's what I'm going to do. The T-72 will come out first. I will probably try to have that done by Sunday, and then I'm going to do a combo video of the M1 Abrams and the T-72, and hopefully we have not hit or knocked Iran around until at least Tuesday when the president does his speech. But who knows, something could happen, and not knowing. But I'd like to get that video up before we do anything there, so when you do see things on TV and they do their kind of spin and stuff, you'll know actualities of the equipment that's on the field and who's using them and how they're fighting with it. The reason I've chosen MiG-29 because the Ukrainians fly it. A lot of countries in Eastern Europe still fly it, and not a bad plane. I mean, it's a shame they didn't build more of them, Russia, but that's their doing. But this is actually a pretty good fighter plane. A little bit old, but I mean, if it's updated electronically like the American planes, it could still hold its own. So that's it for this. Yeah, like I said, I'm going to be going away for a day or so, and I'll be back late tomorrow, and I will get to building that tank, and we'll do a video on the T-72 tank. Like I said, hopefully we're not in a war before I do that, and I'd like to get a comparison of the Abrams and the T-72. So for now, that's all I have. I'm sorry that I was talking so long and didn't mean to meddle with the political thing. It just, I saw that pop up. They're always going after drivers in Illinois. The taxes are high on fuel. They have tolls. The roads are horrible. I mean, I drive out to Iowa. I have friends and stuff there. I went to college there, and I have a Chevy Equinox, and I just kind of put the air pressure fairly high in it so it'll kind of bounce around everything and avoid stuff. And I also have a Volkswagen Passat. It's nerve-wracking driving because the way the road is, I mean, it's low to the ground, and you could really knock something up. Thank God it's got a shield on the bottom to protect the engine and stuff, but that's part of the price of driving and living in Illinois. So I hope everybody's fine, and hope you don't think my glasses are goofy. This is a Temu purchase, but I can see real good with them. And I will get to working on that tank. Have a nice Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and hopefully Sunday I'll reconnect with a video just on the T-72 tank. And like I said, hopefully we're not in a war until after Tuesday, and I'll do one with the Abrams versus the T-72. So if we are in a conflict situation and you hear stuff and our guys are on the ground against whatever they have there, you'll kind of have an idea of what they're facing and what's going there. That's it for now. Enjoy the rest of the day, and please don't be upset with my goofy glasses. I will see everybody soon.